If you're looking to travel to the continent of Africa and you're looking for a place that has a lot of adventure, a lot of culture, and a lot of nature, then Zambia should be at the top of your list. On this video, I'm going to talk about 8 things to do in the beautiful country of Zambia. All right, now let's talk about Zambia. Now, Zambia is a country where I felt like I was truly at home. There's so many things to do in Zambia. It's perfect for nature lovers. It's perfect for adventure seekers. And it's also perfect for people that want to really soak up culture. And the people in Zambia are cool, laid back, and they're just down to earth people. I cannot tell you how much I felt relaxed and at home in the beautiful country of Zambia. Zambia is located in southern Africa, and like a lot of southern African countries, there's a lot of wildlife, there's a lot of lakes, waterfalls, mountains, and it really makes it so that there's a lot of things to do for whatever type of traveler you are. So let's get into the 8 different things to do in beautiful Zambia. Now, the first thing to do in Zambia is to visit Victoria Falls. Now, in Zambia, there are a lot of different waterfalls all around the country, but the most famous is Victoria Falls. Now, Victoria Falls is located right on the border between Zimbabwe and Zambia. Now, the height for this waterfall is about 355 feet from the top to the bottom, which is about 108 meters. Now, when you travel there, you can travel right up to, get right up and close and personal to the waterfalls. And there's certain seasons in which you can travel to the waterfalls that are better than others. Now, the best times to travel to Victoria Falls is between the months of February and May. And that's when you got a lot of waterfall coming from the Zambezi River, and it produces the world's largest sheet of falling water. I do suggest that if you do go to Victoria Falls at this time period, that you do bring a raincoat or something like that, because there's a lot of mist that comes and falls down on you. But it is a beautiful sight, once in a lifetime experience to see. Now, because of Victoria Falls and also some of the nature parks around it, there are tons of things to do in Livingstone, Zambia, which leads us to number 2, and that's Devil's Pool. On the edge of Victoria Falls, there's an indent in the rock formation that allows you to swim to the edge of the waterfalls without falling. This is called Devil's Pool, and it's like a natural infinity pool. For those out there that are looking for a little bit of adventure, looking for a little bit of adrenaline rush, then look no further than Devil's Pool. This should be at the top of your list. And the view you get from Devil's Pool is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The third thing you can do in Zambia is view Victoria Falls from above. And you can do this 2 different ways. The first way is traditionally, which is via helicopter. You hop in the helicopter and you can fly over the waterfall. The second way is through microlighting, which is my favorite. Microlighting is pretty much like a go-kart that can fly. All you gotta do is hop in the microlight, you do have a driver, and they'll take you right over the waterfalls, and they'll kind of circle around it so you can get a really up and close personal view of Victoria Falls. All right, the 4th thing to do in Zambia, and we're gonna stick to that area near Victoria Falls, is of course bungee jumping. Now, for people out there that, once again, you're looking for a little bit of adrenaline rush, you can actually bungee jump right next to Victoria Falls. There's like a little bridge that connects one part to the other, and that's where you'll pretty much dive right into the mouth of it. This is really one of the most scenic bungee jumps in the world. Now, the 5th thing to do in Zambia is go to a festival. Now, there are over 73 different ethnic groups in Zambia. Now, with all those different ethnic groups, of course, there's tons of different festivals that you can attend. And that's really one of the things that I love about traveling to the continent of Africa, is really going to the different traditional festivals and really soaking up all that history, all that culture. And in Zambia, there are over 60 different festivals that are annual that occur all around the country. For example, you have the Kuomboka Festival. Now, this festival is the most famous one in Zambia, and it's carried out by the Lozi people. Now, this festival celebrates the migration of the Latunga, which is the king of the Lozi people, when he and his queen moved from their summer home to their dry season home, and this is before the Zambezi River starts to flood the plains. During this celebration, the king gets into a decorated boat that has a decorated elephant on top of it, while the queen gets into her own boat that has a decorated cattle egret in it. And they both travel until they get to their dry season home. Meanwhile, the Lozi people are decked out in their traditional attire, and them plus any visitors are lined up on the shores of the Zambezi River, and there's a lot of music that's being played, and of course there's a huge feast at the end of this 6-hour journey. You also have Kazanga, which is celebrated by the Nkoya people for over 500 years, and it's steeped in their ancient traditions. You also have the Nkwala festival, which is celebrated by the Ngoni people. Now, this festival celebrates the first harvest, and is where the Ngoni chief ceremonially tastes the first fruit of the season. You also have the Kulamba festival that's normally in August, and it's celebrated by the Chewe people. And this festival is really a Thanksgiving, and it's really known for its dancers all throughout the region. You also have the Lukumbi festival, and it's carried out by the Lebele people to celebrate their cultural heritage, and it also includes singing, dancing, and recreating a lot of famous events in Lebele mythology. Next, you have the Livingstone Cultural and Arts Festival, and it's located in Livingstone, which is really the tourism capital and adventure capital of Zambia. And this festival is filled with cultural performances and also a huge street carnival. And you also have the Umutumboko Festival, which is carried out by the Lunda people to celebrate their migration and arrival from present-day Congo to present-day Zambia. It's at this event where they have the Mwata, which is like their paramount chief, dancing to really commemorate the event and the festivities. As I mentioned before, there's tons of different festivals all throughout Zambia, and if you do travel to Zambia, I would suggest that you do plan your trip around one of these festivals to really soak up a lot of that history, culture, and heritage. Now, the sixth thing to do in Zambia, and it really goes without saying because we're dealing with Southern Africa, but safaris. All right. In Zambia, there are a lot of different places for you to go to different safaris. They have everything from guided safaris to self-driving safaris, walking safaris, canoeing safaris. And even if you don't want to go to a safari, they do have things like lion conservation areas, etc. But Zambia in particular is a really good country. If you really want to see a lot of wildlife, it's a really good country to visit in order to soak that up. Now, the seventh thing to do in Zambia is go to the Lusaka National Museum. There's a few museums all around the country, but the one in Lusaka really takes you on a journey all throughout Zambia from prehistoric times all the way to present day times. And they really go into a lot of the history and the culture of that great nation. Now, the eighth and final thing to do in Zambia is go on a nice sunset cruise down the Zambezi River. Now, what makes this cruise so unique is that not only is it a nice sunset cruise, but it's also like a sunset cruise combined with a safari. Because as you're traveling down the Zambezi River, you'll oftentimes run into wildlife that are grazing along the river, be it elephants or hippos or whatever. But while you're on this nice, and some of these, by the way, some of these cruises are luxury cruises. So if you are, on vacation with your bae, then you can go on this nice sunset cruise and really get a nice romantic dinner with some music, and then also you'll be able to see a lot of wildlife on the side of the banks. Now, that's my top 8. Now, honorable mention wise, you also have canoeing down the Zambezi National Park, whitewater rafting, kayaking, riverboarding, and then for those out there that love to fish, there's a ton of places for you to go and fish all throughout Zambia. Now, on the next video, I want to talk about a lot of the things that you should know before you travel to Zambia. And that's really the different ethnic groups in Zambia, the languages, where to go, where to stay, all that good stuff. So please stay tuned to the next video. All right, thank you for watching this video. And if you want to learn more about Africa and the diaspora, especially when it comes to traveling to these different countries and really learning more about the Black history and culture that was never in your history books, then start now by subscribing to the channel and also hitting that bell notification so you don't miss a thing. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.